Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Happy evening to one and all present. On behalf of the Department of Bank Management, ETHIRAJ College for Women, in association with Beta Monks Factory Private Limited, I am extremely pleased to welcome you all to the one-week web national online faculty development program, the Unlock Down Challenges and Opportunities in Business Post-COVID. Happy evening to one and all present. On behalf of the Department of Bank Management, ETHIRAJ College for Women, in association with Beta Monks Factory Private Limited, I am extremely pleased to welcome you all to the one-week national online faculty development program, the Unlock Down Challenges and Opportunities in Business Post-COVID. Thank you for the enthusiastic response. I request our head of the department, Dr. T. Ushapriya, Vice Principal Self-Supporting, to address the academicians.
Good evening to one and all. It's really very nice to see the overwhelming response, over 400 respondents for this faculty development program. I'm very happy about it. I also thank Beta Monk Factory Private Limited and other energetic and enthusiastic speakers of the sessions who is going to make this week lively and lovely. The COVID-19 crisis has affected societies and economies around the globe, and it will definitely permanently reshape our world as it continues to unfold. While the fallout from the crisis is both amplifying familiar risks and creating new ones, change at this scale also creates new openings for managing systematic challenges and ways to build back better. I'm sure this week-long faculty development program will provide deep insights and also offer a comprehensive picture of expected long-term changes. And definitely, through this educational journey, we can inspire our students to leverage the opportunities this crisis offers to improve the state of the world. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Renuka Devi.
Thank you, ma'am. Entrepreneurship and innovation, a driving force of economic growth through job creation and ability to turn an idea into reality, has evolved new ventures and small business that puts rising economies on the path to prosperity and empowers people to come together and tackle the most pressing global problems from climate change to poverty. The thrust of the UGC and the government in harnessing the efforts of entrepreneurs and innovators across the country through various schemes and summits has prioritized business as the need of the hour. This 7-day FDP program brings together eminent women entrepreneurs representing different business sectors. The focus of the program is to enrich and augment the knowledge of teachers in the field of entrepreneurship by interaction with successful entrepreneurs for practical insight, and to harness entrepreneurial values in teachers to imbibe the same among the students and turn them as powerful mentors to guide young minds towards entrepreneurship. With this, I welcome our today's resource person, Miss Madhu Chandrika, artist and founder, Earthen Symphony. Madhu Chandrika, driven by her passion to create decorative arts, has rendered and transformed many corporates, institutions, business, and private spaces since 1995. Her strength lies in creating works of customized art that embody the essence of the space. An alumna of Chitrakala Parishad, College of Fine Arts, Madhu Chandrika stays abreast of the latest developments in materials and techniques, allowing her to conceptualize innovative artwork for each project. In addition, Madhu Chandrika also designs for Earthen Symphony, an exclusive range of decorative art designed with as much passion as the signature line, which caters to those looking for smaller and distinctive art. Her philanthropic endeavor and commitment towards social responsibility in providing training and employment opportunities to the less privileged women has coveted the Goldman Sachs and Fortune Global Women Leader Award 2012. Madhu Chandrika is also the recipient of several prestigious awards. Emerge Women Achiever Award 2016, presented by R.V. Deshpande, Minister of Industries, Karnataka State. Adani First Generation Business Excellence Award 2017, conferred by PAR, the platform for women entrepreneurs. Aspen Institute Global Leader Award 2013, conferred by the Aspen Institute, Colorado, USA. Best Business Plan Award 2009, conferred by the International School of Business, Hyderabad. And Women Leadership Award 2018, conferred by Femina at the 5th World Women Leadership Congress. We are extremely fortunate to have you, ma'am, for our today's session. Now, we present a small audio video on our resource person.
Thank you. May
Okay, so yeah, I think we will proceed and we'll just have the video a little later. There's a small technical glitch happening here, so I'm not able to start the video. But Madhu, I would like to start today's session with a very interesting thought of yours on entrepreneurship. In fact, I read this in one of your interviews, which talks about entrepreneurship, and I think this is the right platform to discuss about that. To most of us, entrepreneurship is about an idea. But here I learned that yes, the idea is important, but what determines your success is not just your idea, but your belief in it, your passion for it. Entrepreneurship is all about perseverance, about believing enough to endure anything and everything that comes your way. If you enjoy what you do, the journey will be fun. There is no shortcuts to success. This is very true. I'm sure every entrepreneur who has gone through the journey would agree to this. So Madhu, why Earthen Symphony? What sparked you to start it?
So Earthen Symphony is now 25 years, and I'm telling you a story which is about 30 years. And I had to continue my education and join a professional course. Art was not even considered as an option. right? We're talking way back 90. And the typical option was to take the entrance exam to either medical or engineering. And art as a course, I myself didn't know that there was a degree course in sketching, drawing, painting, sculpture, all of that. So for me to go take that, I was always interested in art through my school. I was always very creative, doing things with my hand. But how to take it further, I had no clue. But luckily at that junction, and 12th, when I was making a career choice, when I got to know from a friend that there is a college which teaches art, I didn't even think if there is a career, is there a possibility, what would I do in the future? All I remember is how I actually, I could say, fought with my parents to say that this is what I want to do. And finally, they had to give in because of my persistence saying, this is what I want to do. So finally they said, okay, if that's what you want to do, your wish, go ahead. Right? So that's where I learned perseverance pays when you want to do something. So once I did my art course when I was in the fourth year, it is a 5-year course. So there is a project that you have to do in the final year, which generally turns out to be a little expensive. And since there was a 3-month holiday period, I decided that let me do something to earn, to fund my project work. So that is when I started thinking what it is that I can do. I pulled around another 4 friends of mine, and then we said, let's do pottery. I don't know how, but it just struck me that pottery was one thing which I had access to. There was a friend whose village I had visited, and there were potters in the village and they were throwing pots on the wheels. So I said, okay, let's do the pottery, but let's do it different. So from there started my journey of trying to do something different with everything that is available. So I made pottery. We did about 300 different pots, stayed with the potters, threw the pots on the wheels, changed the shape. I mean, that was real fun time because the potters just could not understand why would anybody want a triangular shaped pot? Why, what would you store in it? The mouth is so small. So we made these pots, brought them back to Bangalore, painted them. So that is again where I was experimenting. Pottery was always either terracotta, red, earthy, but started experimenting with colors of myriad hues. It could be blues, greens, lilacs, mauves, purples. I decorated these pots and put up a show in one of the popular exhibition places in Bangalore. And I'm from a commercial art background. So made sure that we had a good set of invitations going to the interior design industry, like interior decorators and architects. And it was a 4-day show, and all those, there were about 300 pots that were made. When I say pots, they're not small tabletops. They were like 3 feet, 3.5 feet, 2 feet tall pots, which could be placed on the floor. All the 300 pots were sold in 4 days. So that was the beginning where I realized that you could create something, and if you can be different, and if you can catch the attention of a buyer, then you have a market there. That is where I started Earthen Symphony.
Okay. We all know Madhu as an art visionary. In fact, I've seen your artwork in ISB Mohali. Every piece of your artwork is so unique and so creative. So where do you get your inspiration from, Madhu?
So, like I told Santa, when I started with pottery. So the artwork that you saw at ISB is large. It's about 30 feet in height. But that is a gradual progression which has happened. Every time trying to do different, bigger, better, more interesting, more unique, right? Every step of the journey has been trying to be different, unique, better. And that is where it has led me. I mean, the largest artwork that we have done so far is one on the facade of a building which is in Delhi, and it covers 13 floors in height. But the first, I started with pottery, but the first mural as such that I made was about 2 feet by 2 feet. That was an pottery. I thought, after these urns, now how do I used to have a lot of interior designers coming to me and then saying, and since I was making it, what I was telling them is that I can custom make it according to spaces. So I started getting invited to sites to see, take a look, and so that is exactly what I wanted. So I went to the site. When I saw something, I see the space and then get inspired with the kind of color that could add value to that space. And then I realized the walls were pretty blank. You know, there were long passages. In a very contemporary style, and India didn't really have that much to offer on that contemporary style. I was at the right place at the right time. So when I saw and with these sites for pottery, I just brought out, large walls which were looking empty. So I used to bring up and say, why not I do something which coordinates with the pot to the walls.
Madhu, we can't hear you. Technology is always a bang and also a boom. It happens.
Hello.
Yeah, we got you back. Yes.
Yes.
This happens
Right.
with technology, Madhu. Yeah.
Right. I know.
Okay, so we have talked about your inspiration, and no, one more important thing I wanted to add to this. There are so many artists out there, but Madhu and Earthen Symphony has a market on their own. You have created a niche for yourself. So how did you manage to do that? If you can just add to that.
Yeah, sure. So typically what an artist does is they create something which comes to them, and then they try to sell it through galleries, right? But I initially, right from the beginning, that was a different road that I took. I did not go the gallery way. I wanted to change the way traditional art is bought and viewed. Art was not meant to be in the galleries. Art was not meant only for the connoisseurs of art, right? Art was meant to communicate and available for everybody. So I realized that when is it that a person uses anything decorative for their spaces? It is when they're making a new building, a new home, a new office. Because after that, once you settle in and get on with your regular work in that space, you're not really looking at spending that much time and effort in doing up the space. So I realized that an interior designer, an architect, or that space of the interior design, that is the time when these things happen. So I took that route. I said, I will be visible to an interior designer. I will be visible to an architect. I will be visible to a corporate who is making their office a new office space, because that is when they require my services. So I took part in B2B exhibitions, which have nothing to do with art, right? As an artist, I took part in B2B exhibitions of interior design industry, the furniture exhibitions, the lighting exhibitions. That is where I made myself visible. And that is how I built the niche. I was able to get into that industry and clearly work with them in tandem, with the interior design industry people in tandem, to make sure all this goes together as a product, as an offering. So that is how I was able to create a niche.
Okay, great. I would like to go a little to the basic side and see, art is brilliant. Your the artwork is excellent, and everything is unique. Every artwork is unique. So when you coordinate with the client, get to meet a client for the first time, how do they communicate their requirement to you, and how do you understand and say this is what they wanted? Because that's a long-term process, right? The results are more important, and we can see the results. But what is the process which is involving the making process?
Yes. So what I do is I have a detailed discussion with the client. I visit the site. So typically, clients do not know what they want, right? Because they are not artists. They are not envisaging. They are not creating a kind of a vision. So, but they know. So I dig in. I ask them, what is your company about? What is it that you want to communicate? How do you want to be seen? Their vision, their mission. I understand all of that. And they have seen my previous works. So they know what is my style. So what I do is once I understand from them, I give them a proposal. I tell them this could be a theme. Or sometimes, like if it's an aerospace industry, right? I know they say that we are proud that we are part of the aerospace industry. And the people who are working here are very happy to be part of they feel really proud. So then what is it that you want to exaggerate there? Make them feel, make the space really look like they are part of something which is very futuristic. So make sure that my artworks communicate in terms of the material that I use, the kind of imagery that I'm showcasing. So I would use glass, steel. I wouldn't go for earthy, terracotta and wood in an aerospace company. Now the message, the communication, I help them build a theme, get to the core of what they are. And from there, every artwork. So when I'm proposing, it's a proper detailed sketch. It is a 3D artwork that I'm creating, computer creating it. So I take pictures of the space, put these artworks in space and show them exactly how it's going to look after it is done. So that there is no confusion between them and me, because I can have so many things in my mind, whether they're going to imagine exactly the same. I know exactly what you meant. Whether they're going to imagine the same, no. So I show them absolutely, to the last line, this is what it is going to be. And once they are bought in on that is when I go for production. And definitely after production with the actual materials, it's going to look way better than what my proposal was, a digitally created proposal.
I know, I can imagine the amount of hard work, and I'm sure the final result will be worthy of every bit of work. Since we have talked about vision of the client and corporate side, so I just want to ask something. Art and corporate workspaces, do they really gel together? Because corporates are very professional and kind of stuff. Yeah, yes.
Yes, I mean, see, corporates, offices, homes, whatever, has people in it, right? Art speaks to the people. Art speaks, art communicates, touches a chord in a human, right? So when we are using in corporate, we make sure that it helps the people two ways. One is in the public spaces where you have visitors coming, we are talking about, so this is soft branding for the corporate, where they would probably have to spend an hour talking and telling we are different, this is what we do differently, this is our vision, a visual there when you're just sitting in the reception and waiting, and you see a visual on the wall, and the visual is already communicating all that. Nobody needs to come and tell this is what it is. You are creating the image in your mind already of what the company is all about, right? So for example, the office of Deloitte, the corporate office of Deloitte in Mumbai, as I was talking to them, it's a decently done up, very beautifully done up office. And when I was talking to them, I asked them, what is the vision for your company? They said, we just have across everything, go high is our theme. It's not even our vision. Go high is our motto, our theme. So how do I now that is their theme, but how will the space show that? So as soon as you open the door, I have created a beautiful metal artwork, which is of a bird, which is in full flight, just taking off and flying. So, and on another, and they said go high with collaboration, cooperation. So I'm not really going to show people collaborating, go high as just say go high with words. Now, collaboration, cooperation, on another wall, I have an artwork which has a beautiful landscape where people are each helping each other climb to, it's like a team trekking and climb on top. So this is talking about collaboration, cooperation. So this is where it touches the human mind, your thought process. Now, this is not something which when you walk in every day into the office, you're not going to see it, look, oh, okay, go high. No, it's going to be embedded in your subconscious mind. All of this is kind of egging you on to take that theme along with you as you go. So corporates, yes, art and corporates, there is no reason why corporates should not have art. In fact, they should have it more because it humanizes the place. It keeps them from being sterile environments.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Since we have covered your initial journey, your inspiring journey, can you name 3 main traits which has motivated you, or the main reasons for your success?
Yeah, I would say one is, like I told you, every time keep trying to better yourself. I don't leave any opportunity go without giving my more than 100%, so that, tomorrow I don't have to turn back and think, I wish I'd just done that 1% and I would have done this particular, it could be a proposal that I've given to a client. It could be a proposal. There's never, when I look back, if a proposal has not been favorable to what I have proposed and the client doesn't come back to me, I want to be sure it's not because of any less effort from my end. It is only because either the client doesn't have a budget or the client priorities now are different, but nothing to do from my end. There's absolutely everything that I could have done from my end. That is one. I would also say that try to keep my personal emotions and ego very I make sure, are you able to hear me?
Now, yes. Madhu?
Everybody is able to hear.
We're losing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I tried to keep my ego, my personal ego as a person, and my company separate. So if at all, for whatever reason, when I have made a proposal, if the client is very difficult, right? My personal ego would say, how much can I service? Let it go. If they want, they'll come back. But I make sure I always think, if I did that, how will it affect my company, right? My company needs this order. We need it. I have 40 people employed. I need a sustenance to happen. So I cannot let my ego come in the way. I make sure that I keep that aside. Somebody did say that, I try to reason it from their end, not from my perspective, and then think, okay, probably they've had a bad day today. Let me go back again. If they've asked for a small change, let me do that again. It is fine, right? So that is another thing which has really helped me. And a third thing is with my staff, I make sure I have a very good conversation and a rapport with my staff. I do not see them as just employees. I have people who are working with me from 20 plus years. Most of my staff have been with me for over 15 years. I have about 8 of them. For over 20 years, there are 2 of them. Everybody who comes and joins my studio have been there for several years. So I make sure that they also feel and understand whatever that we produce, end of the day, is a team effort. And they are as much instrumental in what is created. And if a class is appreciating something that they are as much instrumental in creating that beautiful work of art as me who's probably thought of the artwork. But it finishes with the thinking, but it is a joint effort. So making sure I buy in all of my team also has helped me continue and move forward.
And I think this will be maybe the industry might be different, but these things are very common for any successful entrepreneur, I guess.
Yes,
From a
absolutely.
student, from a student to Goldman Sachs and Fortune Global Women Leader Award. Renuka ma'am covered a lot of other awards, but I feel this is the prestigious award for me. So it is a prestigious award. It's a great honor to receive that award. How did it all happen? This journey should have been really a long path for you, right? How did this happen?
Yeah. I mean, Santa, the award is something which just came by tangentially. These are things which make you feel, end of the day, okay, there is somebody who's understanding and appreciating. But that is not something you're aiming and working towards. This happened while I was doing what I do every day. I mean, I've always hired women, and I have people, women handling big machinery in my workshop. I think again I have women handling all sorts of different heavy machinery in my workshop. So I've always taken people who are unskilled, trained them, upskilled them, and given employment. And it so happened that there was a visit by the Goldman Sachs CEO and from their CSR department that they came visiting, and they were actually checking out a lot of women entrepreneurs, and I had no clue. They said they will come to my studio and they want to take a look around. They were most welcome. And once they took a look around, and they just then, after about 3-4 weeks, there was a project report that I had to give about what we do and everything. And finally they said, okay, this is an award that we'd be happy to give you. So that is how that award came by, but it is not something which I had any clue about. But yes, the fact is that the everyday work that we do in my studio has led us to be recognized as a company where we are striving to upskill people, give employment, because of the 40 people that I have employed, 10, I would say, are the design team, the engineer, the designer. The rest of them are all on the shop floor in the production. None of them are from any specific educational background. Most of them are probably just 10th pass, 12th pass, but they have been trained in-house and employed at Earthen Symphony, and they are now the assets of my company.
More than assets, I think they are now part of, it's more of a family right now over there, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. See, this Global Leader Award, I'm sure it is not, maybe not a big recognition, or this is just a side product for your hard work, but I'm sure it's inspiration for many women out there who want to take art as a business. So,
right.
Keeping aside all these awards, how do you measure success, Madhu? What is success to you?
See, as I'm talking also, you hear me talking more about the people who are working in my company, the kind of culture that we have in my company. For me, what is important is whose story I am in. I am in, whose life I have been able to impact. Very easy to go behind, whom you want in your story. But if you are able to make a difference in some, you can touch them and give them a livelihood. I think for me, that is a measure of success. I really truly feel happy that I'm able to provide livelihood for the unskilled people. And for me, measure of success is when I'm able to, in this COVID situation, right? I've had of for one whole month or 40 days. But I've had people, my team, calling me and saying, ma'am, please don't worry about our salary. Don't worry about our salary, right? I'm okay this month. It's okay if you do not pay me. When are we going to start work? So that for me is success. I mean, if I have a good team and we are all focused on doing our best, work will come, right? Work will come. There is going to be recognition. We are able to survive. We are able to move forward.
True, very true. In fact, we want to go in detail about the lockdown thing. But before I touch upon lockdown, see, there are times you would have faced these kind of difficulties, just like our COVID situation right now in your business. I'm asking you this question because you are in this business for more than 25 years, right? So
Right.
you would have been in business in 2008 as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
similar situation would have been there. So
Yes.
how did you bounce back? What were the strategies you implemented?
So what I realized in 2000, actually because of 2008, I am much prepared now. In 2008, what I realized was that there is always going to be some section or some vertical which is doing well. It's not like everybody is not doing well. So I do for residences, I do institutions, corporates, hospitals, hospitality. In 2008, there was a blanket close. All the corporate clients that I had said, blank, we've just stopped. We will look back 6 months down the line. But that is when I realized the residences never stopped. Residences, so I focused a lot more on my residential clients. I made sure that I was more visible to the residential clients. We serviced more. So the residential clients was what kept us afloat in the 2008 situation. So this, as soon as we went into this COVID situation, I had my learning from there. I said, I am focusing now on residences. So what I did is I sent mails to all the corporates saying, I understand the situation is bad. I know my designs are there with you, but I told them, let's leave this for the next 3 months and we'll come back and reconnect later. But residential clients, I immediately sent out mails, feelers, all of it saying that you have more time now. I have more time now. You are spending a lot more time at home. Which is that wall that you want to do up? Which is that corner you want spruced up? So we already have so much of work in the residential sector, which got converted during the lockdown because my design team didn't stop at all. We started immediately. So that was another thing we did. We immediately worked around and made our design team able to work from home, and we were able to service. I mean, the same thing, exactly like how we are doing the Zoom call. I do Zoom call with clients and they take me on a tour of their homes to show me the space. I don't need a site visit anymore.
That's actually an interesting point of everything.
I would like to interrupt here, just an announcement. Participants, if you have any queries to the resource person, can just put it up in the chat box. And at the end of the session, the questions will be raised to the resource person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that. So I know now it's all digital, so the way of the work, how we work also is going to change now. So that's a good point. But yes, to what extent has your everyday life changed in quarantine period, Madhu? Has it impacted Earthen Symphony this lockdown period?
Impact, yes, definitely. I mean, there is cash flow problem. There has been a slowdown. But there are positives to it as well. What happened was, for a long time, I kept thinking I need to have everything digital, online, cloud, how I save my files has to be on the cloud, all of that. But never took it seriously because something else more important comes. And I always thought design is something you are sitting together, brainstorming, and ideas come, and then an idea is, somebody else breaks it down, somebody else adds to it, and that's how it happens. But suddenly everything had to stop one fine day. Now, how do you continue this? So immediately I was able to take everything online. We put everything on the cloud. Like you learn to swim when you're pushed into the water. So we took everything online, and within a week we were up and about. My whole design team started working from home, and we did the same design discussions, but on Zoom. We didn't change any of the discussions. The discussion is very important for design development. It cannot happen in isolation. So, but we managed to do that. I thought it would never be possible. I mean, if somebody had asked me before COVID, can you do design from home? I would say, no, not possible. But now I would say, yeah, I mean, that is the best way. I'm saving so much time. I'm saving my designers' time, and everything we are able to do digitally.
Especially travel time in Bangalore.
Absolutely. And my clients have more time. The clients are sitting in their spaces, and they don't need to travel. They don't need to really keep that much time aside for me. When I say, okay, we need just a 10 minutes, it's done and over in 10 minutes.
So, Madhu, you're in this business for 25 years. And you have your website being said, there is a visual story being conveyed about your art, your other work done. So has this online presence helped you during this lockdown period? Has it resulted in a better way, from your client side?
In fact, online, see, like you said, mine is extremely visual. Now, if I do not have, whether even before the situation, for me, without a visual, it's very difficult to explain what I do. If I say I do murals, you are going to imagine what you know as murals, right? It's not going to be what I have done. So for me, visual presence was very important, and an online all the more important, because for a client, whether to take that effort to go to the next level is only based on what you've already done, whether that is what, whether that matches their wavelength of what they're looking for. Having said that, you asked me specifically whether this COVID has made any difference. Yes, I have used this time to take my whole business, a catalog collection, online. So people now don't need to come and visit my studio or meet me. I have artworks as a catalog collection for residences, for corporates, which they can go online, see what is available, click order online, we make it and dispatch. And with this, am I getting cut?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So with this also, what I have done during this COVID situation time that we had as lockdown, I was able to concentrate and create a whole catalog. And we are now very soon, I think within a week, we are partnering with Pepperfry. And a lot of our products will be available on Pepperfry. So hopefully we would be reaching a pan-India audience, and people will be able to buy Earthen Symphony products from anywhere. And these online things make life so much easier for us. I don't have to think about the marketing. I don't have to think about packing, transportation. All that is taken care of by them.
Wish you good luck for that, Madhu. I think getting into existing e-com site will be a very good value add for your products. Indian presence.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. How do you foresee future of Earthen Symphony after lockdown? And most importantly, what are the strategies you're planning to adopt to overcome this current challenge?
So right now, like I said, I'm focusing on residential. I think that's going to be the next 2 months at least. But having said that, you will not believe, during the COVID lockdown, we serviced a client, Biocon, right? It was a whole design for the newly built cafeteria, which very soon is going to be, we are starting work on that. So though my production was not happening, I was able to use my design team and make all the designs, and we are ready. As soon as we are open for production, we're ready to start the production. So only thing I think is that 2 months cash flow is a problem. But being an entrepreneur, you know how it is. When you have cash flow problem, all you do is go to the banks, get overdraft facility, because you know that it is going to ease out and you're going to be able to pay back. But yes, that part is a little difficult, but you know that you can overcome. So what I am definitely not cutting any jobs, but we have done salary cuts for all the staff. All of them have had to take salary cuts, which they are perfectly fine with. And we've done that for the month of April, and we will be doing that for the month of May. So these 2 months, I think, would go that way. But I see business picking up. We've had a couple of inquiries which have come in. Another thing that I'm doing specifically, Santa, is I have seen which are the markets or which are the verticals which now are still in action, right? Now, Biocon is a pharmaceutical company, and no pharmaceutical company is doing bad. I mean, they're really, and they've never shut shop, right? So I'm focusing, and we do have a couple of pharmaceutical clients other than Biocon. So I'm reaching out to them and telling them exactly what we can offer them in this situation. And also hospitals. Hospitals is one of our biggest clients. Manipal hospitals, we have worked across the country. And hospitals are also now going to be, I mean, I foresee that there's going to be a lot more activity in the pharmaceutical and the hospital industry. Hospitals no longer are going to be hospitals where you are scared to walk in. They're going to be as good as hospitality, right? You want to walk in there and not feel scared. Wherever I come, what's going to happen? You want to feel like you've just walked into another nice hotel, get your treatment, and come back. You want your mind also to be prepped for that. So hospitals is another vertical that I'm focusing on. So our marketing, whatever that we are doing, is focused on that. I make sure, none of the IT industries I'm contacting now, because we know they might give up their retail spaces. Work from home for them is so much better, right? So yeah, these are strategic decisions that you take as a business, and it will. The short term is what we have to look at. This is not something which is long term, the COVID, but I would say 5 to 6 months. If we have to survive, we look at the low hanging fruit right now. The low hanging fruit right now is the pharma industry, the medical
projects.
Yeah, so that is where we are.
I'm sure we are going to bounce back in style, and no short term, this projects, it is going to, because people have so much of time now, they can explore,
right,
creating their workspace, home.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about what is the vision for Earthen Symphony in 2025, Madhu? Where do you see Earthen Symphony next 5 years?
I want Earthen Symphony to be an Indian-grown international brand for design, right? We do not, you do not see a design firm, Indian design firm, competing as much, or not competing, I would say walking shoulder to shoulder with an international brand. I want Earthen Symphony to have all its Indianness, have its roots here, but be an internationally recognized brand. I'm not saying we want to be selling world over, but I want to be recognized. I want people to say, okay, like Earthen Symphony, or this is from Earthen Symphony. Take that as a benchmark.
I wish you all success, and I'm sure in 2025 we will have one more webinar and we'll talk about this, Madhu. Madhu, since we have a lot of faculties who have joined in for this webinar, I would like to talk about what would be the teacher's role of being a mentor to any student, and how do you identify that entrepreneurial potential in a student? And if you can quote any such teacher who identified your talent in your school or college level.
Oh yeah, I mean, in my school, there was a teacher, Mariamma, Miss Mariamma. She was my class teacher in sixth standard. She's the one who recognized that I like, I have innate ability to draw, paint, and be very creative. So every other opportunity that she had, she would put my name in any competition, any inter-school competition. And even in school, she used to tell me, you do this and show me tomorrow. And then small things, not that she was a big artist, but she used to say, maybe this could have been better, or this is looking very nice. And she made sure my painting was taken, put on the pin-up board. And for a student of sixth standard, what a high that is, when you're recognized by your teacher. It's a small artwork that you've made, but it's there on the pin-up board. I mean, I would say that is at school level, but I would say at any level, when a teacher makes that individual effort to speak one-on-one or connect one-on-one with a child, it could be for whatever, entrepreneurship, or find what their skill is. I think that affects the child so much. I mean, I'm still filled with so much of respect for Mrs. Mariamma. I mean, she's there on my Facebook, and whenever I see her there, it's still, she is up there for me. So I think for a teacher, it's very important. It's always for me, I was lucky. I was good in it, and I was the type who enjoyed being on stage, whatever. But for somebody who's not so confident, if a teacher, but everybody has some skill in them. If a teacher can pull that, extract that, encourage, because I have done that, not as a teacher, but in my studio, people who are working with me, right? My designers, what I try to do is identify one good or one skill that they have, and then not try to teach them every other skill. That skill you get better and better and better, because there is somebody else who can do the other skill better and better. You don't need to know everything. See, that's what happens in our system, right? We are graded for science, math, art, English, everything together. But I could be very good in art. Why should I struggle so much to be as good in math as well, right? Somebody who has an innate knack for math, let them go forward in math. But if I'm good in art, let me put all that effort that I put trying to just get a little better in math. If I put that in my art, I will go way better. I mean, I am not trying to, there's nothing that I need to teach a teacher here or tell a teacher here, but these are my thoughts.
Okay, so I'll go to the last question because we're already in 4:55. See, you are in the business for almost 25 years. And there is always a first goer advantage. You started the business at a very early stage where art was getting into a business. So there is always an advantage. But can art still be considered a career? Can that be made? And what is your advice to the upcoming artistpreneurs?
More so, Santa. Right now, there is so much more awareness. Back then, when I started, I had to educate people what it is that I'm doing, what all can be done. But now, everybody is aware. There's so much more awareness. People have traveled, people have seen, the visual medium is so popular. People are able to see things. Your social media is so popular. So I think this is the right time. The next whole revolution after your industrial revolution, the technology revolution, the next is going to be art and design. I would say design. And if there can be anything which is more artistic and handcrafted, anything which is design centric is the next revolution. So there is a huge potential, huge potential. I would say if you have even a small little talent. And also, I personally feel as an artist or as a creative person, if you have it in you, you cannot, I mean, it's not right to keep it within you, because only 1 in 1,000 is given, or rather has that skill. So if you have it, you have to go out and give it out into the world. It's not yours to keep it within you. It's not meant only for you. So go out there, do something in the field, and make a difference.
No, getting this much of positivity from you, I'm sure it's going to motivate our students and our faculties who have joined. Who's going to go and motivate our students? So thank you so much. Over to Renuka ma'am, who will open up the question and answer session.
Thank you, Ms. Sandamari. She is the co-founder of Beta Monks Private Limited, interviewing the resource person and taking us very interestingly to the journey of entrepreneurship of Madhu Chandrika. Thank you so much, Sandamari. As there is 5 more minutes left, we have few questions by the faculties. This is to the resource person. This is from Nagalata. She's saying, ma'am, knowledge of resource person is impressive. How after this COVID-19, how to make opportunities in this business?
All the more reason, like I said, now COVID is just a stopgap, right? But visual communication is that much more important in the present world. So COVID, I wouldn't say that COVID is going to change all those basics. COVID only has probably impacted this particular time that people are not moving out. But what you're doing in your house, how you are living, how you're working, that doesn't change. You're only working from home for some time. But then everything is going to go back. So what we are doing is, in this particular situation for about 5-6 months, we are focusing on a sector which still, like I would say, is thriving, because your home is your new pub, your home is your new restaurant, your home is your new gym. So you really want to live well, you want to do it up well, right? You want to feel personal, because before you just got up in the morning, got ready, locked the doors and went out to work. But now you're spending time in your home. You want that time spent to be valuable. So there is always, it's never going to be that everything is shut. There is always going to be some avenue.
Thank you for this answer. The next question is from Savitri. Suggest the new and young entrepreneurs how to go forward.
I would say entrepreneurship takes a lot of resilience. It is not possible that you start something today and in 5 months, 6 months, or even 2 years, 3 years, you're going to be on a path of glory. It takes much longer than that. I mean, that you see probably very few companies which get invested. You just have to keep working at it, not looking all the time thinking, have I made it? Am I going to make it? No. I am in it for the long haul. It's
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
If you can answer that question again, so it will be useful because we got cut in between.
Okay. So where did you hear me till?
Talking about we're talking about the
Entrepreneurship
new and
journey?
young entrepreneurs, how to go forward with them.
Yeah, I would say be ready for a long haul. It will not be something which is very immediate that you see. It is not like a job that you take where you start seeing increments year on year. Entrepreneurship is about building a business. So first 5 years you will need just to make sure that your business is all well formulated and people understand and see you as a business. The next 5 to 10 years is when you will see stability, business starts growing. After 10 years I would say you don't have to worry too much because cumulatively the word has spread and business comes to you from places where you don't even know where it is coming from, or you've not probably made any marketing, but business comes to you. So be ready for a long haul.
We have many questions, two more questions. Work culture has changed as of now. How it can be balanced? By Dr. M. Gopanasamy.
Yes. So, yes, that is a very valid question because work from home being the new norm, it's very easy to slip into a mode where, you get a call at 9 o'clock, you're ready to take a call. 10 o'clock, you're ready to make a presentation. I think, see, for me, I do not segregate work, home because I enjoy what I'm doing, but that is a different situation. But I would say work-life balance, you have to make sure that when I say work-life balance, they're not two different things. Work and life both are one and the same. Actually, you are working and your life is your working life, work life, all of that. But I would say do not go to an extent where you start neglecting everything and focusing only on work. If you were doing a 9 to 6 work, and if you're working from home, stick to that timeline. Work from 9 to 6. It's only the location has changed, but nothing else has changed. Work from home doesn't mean 12 hours of yours is for work alone, right? So just make sure that you keep that segregation. I think it will be convenient and useful.
The last question to you. Which sector is more suitable for women to start a business?
At the present time,
yes.
Presently, I would say, why do you even have to think which sector? You're just an entrepreneur. Why do you have to think of yourself as a woman entrepreneur? Just look at yourself as an entrepreneur. The world out there is not going to look at you differently as a woman entrepreneur or a male entrepreneur, right? Whatever touches you, whatever you're passionate about, it doesn't matter. I have friends, Senta knows, we have friends who are in industries as vast as automobiles, which army automobiles, right? Who are all the time in their uniforms. So as long as you have a passion, I don't think you need to constrain yourself and think as a woman what is different. Probably if you get into a profession which you're passionate as a woman, it would be so much more easier. You would probably excel better.
Okay, thank you. There are numerous more questions because the time has been limited now. The participants, if you require any more queries to be raised, you can personally mail madhuchandrika@webmadhuchandrika.com. Now, Sendamre, is there any presentation? Are we, or shall we wind up the session?
Somebody is unmuted. Before we go, can I think now can I play the video of Madhu?
Yes, yes.
May it be known that art without art is just like earth. Its elements so emotive, so deep, magical, yet so real, full of life, igniting lines, inspiring art. For each to touch, hold, and embrace. From its depth is born the perfect symphony, the Earthen Symphony.
Earthen Symphony has a mission to bring that extraordinary sliver of art into your workspace. While we have run our operations as a premier aerospace company in India, Earthen Symphony has contributed to an atmosphere of bravery across our campus. Right from the time you enter our campus, be it the reception or across our engineering center, you will see aerospace murals depicted in a very artistic manner.
Yeah, so hospitals are like hotels today, and we want the experience to be seamless. I feel that with the choice of hospitals that are available, the look and feel of a hospital has to go hand in hand with the services that the hospital has to offer. And with that in tow, we actually tied up with Earthen Symphony because we wanted to get the warmth, the vibrancy, the feeling of welcomeness into a hospital and make it feel like it wasn't a hospital. It had that distraction that could be caused that for people of any age.
We wanted an elegant piece of art in the room which can show a lot of light and energy and basically look out of the space with the right kind of light. So Madhu came to this concept and she wanted to have very gates. So she would be using CMY cameras and models of different concept and that turned out to be an excellent piece of art. It looks extremely nice and it gives us a lot of energy, gives us a lot of colors in the room and it brightens up the entire space.
What you are seeing is behind of me has been made by Madhu Chandrika. Plenty of customers come every day. They see this and they say, wow, who has made it? She is very dedicated. She is very understands the clients, understands the customers, their needs, and she puts life in what she makes.
For me, Earthen Symphony is an alignment story. It's about the alignment of my personal passion and strength. When I started Earthen Symphony 20 years ago, it was just this germ of an idea. I had this compelling passion to create something, and continuously I was constantly innovating, constant trials, errors, and in 20 years, what we are able to build in Earthen Symphony is actually a total dream come true. And all I can say is being not considered as the right choice for a career, not being not considered as a right choice for career when I started to being awarded as a global women leader by Goldman Sachs and Fortune. I can just say that passion can move mountains, and my passion for creating art, for creating something different and new has brought me here, and this is what Earthen Symphony is today. Today, the actual reason why I'm fired about Earthen Symphony is the fact that we are able to provide livelihood to so many people. It is no doubt a great responsibility, but I would say this is my way of giving back to society.
We have a very solid team here. They have been through the Earthen Symphony journey since day one. And when Madhu conceptualizes her stories, they all are extremely capable of executing it with the team. Installations are easy to do. They require experience, careful attention to detail, large procurements, umpteen last-minute hazards, and sleepless nights. The joy of getting up each morning to know that our work will be installed in some way effective memory works keeps all of us at Earthen Symphony going.
Thank you very much for this beautiful audio visual about Madhu Chandrika. Now we come to the end of the session. I call upon my colleague, Ms. Veena Murli, to brief us about tomorrow's session and show her gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Renu ma'am. Good evening to one and all present for the Faculty Development Program, the Unlocked Town, organized by the Department of Bank Management, ETHIRAJ College for Women, in association with Betamax Technology Factory Private Limited. What a magnificent start we had today with Ms. Madhu Chandrika, founder, Earthen Symphony, a unique artist who designs exclusive artwork. Through each artwork, she believes in extending the aura of her customers' personality into their space. But today, ma'am, you have actually extended the aura of your personality into our space. Thank you, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us and sharing your journey travel so far, how you are managing the current crisis, your plans for future, and the amazing scope which art has. It is truly an enriching experience for all of us. We wholeheartedly thank the management of our college, Principal Dr. S. Kode, and our beloved head of the department, Dr. T. Usha Priya, for the opportunity given. We also thank all the dear participants for your active involvement. Thank you, Betamax Technology Factory Private Limited and co-founder Sendamre for associating with us in organizing this program. Tomorrow, we will meet again at 4 p.m. to hear Ms. Pooja Sani, Director, Naviga Garments. In fact, there is a small work for all the participants. After this session, you will be getting a mail with a small write-up on tomorrow's resource person, Ms. Pooja Sani. She has requested us to read through her story before the session. So until we meet again tomorrow, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.